Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my NBA DraftKings picks for Friday, December 22nd. We got a 9-game slate today, and before we get started looking at each position guys we want to target, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, if this is your first time checking out a video on my channel, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. Also, be sure you guys follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at the DFS_GOAT. If you have any questions, just feel free to DM me on Twitter. Just hit me up there, or leave a comment down in the comment section. We'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, looking at this 9-game slate, looking at point guard, some point guards we want to target today. Really got two studs here: Russell Westbrook, James Harden. Harden's at 11-5 going up against the Clippers without Chris Paul today. Russell Westbrook 11-4 going up against the Hawks. I think Harden probably one of the clear stud options today. It's going to be hard to decide between him and Kevin Durant. I think those are the two guys we're really going to have to debate on who to pay up for. For me, I'm leaning Harden just as of now. Just without Chris Paul, the usage, the shots are going to be there for Harden. Obviously, he's expensive at $11,500, but we're pretty much paying like we were last year. We were paying $12, $13K for Harden last year, and that's kind of what we're getting today. We're getting the Harden from last year that had no Chris Paul, was taking all the shots, and was averaging like 60 DraftKings points. I feel like that's going to be the Harden we get tonight. And it is a great matchup against the Clippers. Obviously, they don't have Patrick Beverley. He is obviously done for the season, so great matchup for James Harden. I think he goes off. I think he gets at least 55, 60 DraftKings points. And we know the kind of ceiling, the kind of upside Harden has without Chris Paul. He can put up 80, 90 DraftKings points, especially if it's a competitive game. So I love James Harden today. I'd say he's my favorite stud on the slate. I prefer him over Kevin Durant. Obviously, I'd prefer him over Russell Westbrook. If I'm paying up for Harden, I prefer him over Russell Westbrook. But I think the big question you're going to have to ask yourself is, do you want to pay up for Harden at 11-5 or pay up for KD at 11-6 going up against the Lakers? We do have a lot of other stud options. As you can see, we got Giannis 11-3, got Boogie at 11-1, got Anthony Davis 10,500. But I think my favorite stud today, not really going out on a limb, not really much of a hot take, but James Harden with no Chris Paul. I think Harden has a very nice game today. So he's going to be a guy I'm trying to force into lineups. Up top at point guard, definitely my favorite guy at this position at the top. But there are some good options in this mid-tier if we do want to go to this mid-tier. Lou Williams is in a revenge game here, going up against the Rockets. His former team did play for the Rockets for about half the season last year. He got traded from the Lakers to the Rockets. Played with the Rockets for a little bit last year, so this is sort of a revenge game. And without Chris Paul, definitely a nice matchup for Lou Williams. I would imagine he's going to see Harden defense, or he might be guarded by Trevor Ariza. That isn't the best matchup, guarded by Ariza. But definitely no Chris Paul is going to help defensively for the Clippers here. I think this game can actually be competitive without Chris Paul. I haven't really looked at spreads yet, but I would imagine the spread's not too high. I think the Clippers can hang with the Rockets here, especially since Paul is not going to be playing. So really good spot for Lou Williams. Definitely like him in tournaments. I think this game has a ton of stack potential. And Lou Williams is a guy that I really like in that mid-tier at point guard or shooting guard at 7,200. Also got two other good options in that mid-tier right behind or right under Lou Williams. You got Lonzo Ball going up against the Warriors. Definitely like Lonzo in tournaments. We know the kind of upside he has. He has actually been pretty consistent lately in his last 4 games. 43, 43, 39, 37 DraftKings points. The minutes have been very consistent lately for Lonzo. We knew sort of beginning of the year, as you can see if you look in his last 10 games, the minutes were kind of inconsistent. Some nights he was getting benched for Jordan Clarkson, but that hasn't been the case lately. Lonzo's been getting a ton of minutes, and he's played well against this Warriors team through 2 games, averaging 40 minutes against the Warriors, 37 DraftKings points averaging through 2 games. So I like this spot for Lonzo in tournaments. 7K, I think he makes sense in that mid-tier. You also got CJ McCollum at that same price. We've already got news that Damian Lillard is not going to be playing today. So that's obviously an upgrade for CJ McCollum. Definitely a guy we're going to have to consider since Damian Lillard's not going to be playing. McCollum is going to see a big uptick in usage and shots with no Lillard. Obviously, DraftKings was sharp and they raised his price up to 7K to where you really have to consider it. But McCollum could still put up 40+ without Lillard on the court. So I definitely like him at 7K as well. I'd prefer him over Lonzo. If we're talking about cash games, I think both guys are great tournament plays. Kemba Walker seems too cheap today at 6,800. But this is a tough matchup against Milwaukee. They're solid defensively against the point guard. Kemba's going to be on the road. But like I said, he seems way too cheap, under 7K. We usually never see Kemba under 7K. He's only 6,800 today. But it is a tough matchup. You have good options like Lonzo, McCollum, Lou Williams. They're just a little bit more expensive. I think I prefer. So maybe looking for more options if we want to go to like this 5K price range. I think we can go to ELFRID Payton today in some tournaments at 5,600, going up against the Pelicans. It doesn't look like Aaron Gordon's going to play. He is doubtful for this game. So that should help. ELFRID Payton should lead to him getting more shots and more opportunities to score. We know the kind of upside Payton has. He has the potential to put up a triple-double. Really good matchup against the Pelicans. Not a good defensive team against the point guard. So I do like ELFRID Payton at 5,600 in that mid-tier. You got Austin Rivers there as well in a potential high-scoring game against Houston. Just hope it stays competitive. Austin Rivers could be a play as well. So him and ELFRID Payton, two guys I definitely like at 5,600 in that mid-tier. And then maybe if we're trying to find some value at point guard, we want to go 5K and under. One play I think we're definitely going to want to target today at 4,300 for a point guard value play. SHABAZZ Napier going up against the Nuggets. Obviously, with Damian Lillard out today, SHABAZZ Napier probably will be in the starting lineup. Should see a big uptick in minutes. We'll probably see close to 30 minutes, if not more than that. This is a great matchup against the Nuggets. They do really struggle defensively against the point guard. DraftKings was pretty sharp, raised SHABAZZ Napier's price up to 4,300. He was only 3,500 in their last game. Obviously, they adjusted the price to where you really have to consider it. He's not just a plug and play. But SHABAZZ Napier, 4,300. No Damian Lillard today. I think he makes sense as a value option at 4,300 if we want to go to him. Looking to go cheap at point guard. But that's what I'm seeing at point guard today, guys. At least for value. Obviously, it's hard to find value when I record my videos because I record them the night before. Right now, the main play that sticks out to me here is SHABAZZ Napier. You can go to Milos Teodosic at 4,900, but he hasn't really been seeing a lot of minutes lately. He's been pretty consistent, been getting about 20, 25 DK points just every game, his last 4 games. But I think I would prefer just go down to SHABAZZ Napier. I think he's the clear point guard value play for today with Lillard out. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and look at some shooting guards. All right, so at shooting guard today, at this position, like this mid-tier, obviously you got Harden up here. I think he's a great play if you want to pay him or play him at shooting guard. But looking in this mid-tier, got some good options here as well. Bradley Beal in a really good spot today, going up against the Nets, going up against Brooklyn. Beal has been playing very well lately, even with John Wall coming back. His last 4 games, Beal's put up 36, 47, 44, and 44 DraftKings points. And he is reasonably priced today at 7,500. I'd say for him to return value on this price, we want about 37, 38 DK points. Bradley Beal can definitely do that in a great matchup against Brooklyn. So I like him in that mid-tier at 7,500. I think I prefer him over like Middleton, Drew Holiday, even Klay Thompson. Obviously, you can go to Klay Thompson in tournaments, but I just don't think I'm going to be going there. He did have a nice game. Their last game against Memphis, I know he shot the ball really well in that game. Kevin Durant really struggled. Klay Thompson played well, put up 43 DraftKings points. So Klay did have a nice game, but at 7,200, you still need almost 40, like even 40. If he gets 40, that's not really hitting much value. That's not even 6x. So I prefer Bradley Beal at 7,500. You got Lou Williams at 7,200, who's shooting guard eligible. Same with CJ McCollum at 7K, also shooting guard eligible. I think those guys are good mid-tier options if you're going to the mid-tier shooting guard. And then if we're looking for some more mid-tier plays, I think there's another guy here in this mid-tier, this 5K range we can go to from the Rockets. Eric Gordon, 5,900, going up against the Clippers. Obviously, with Chris Paul out for this game, that's a big upgrade for Eric Gordon. DraftKings was obviously sharp with the pricing, raised his price to 5,900 to where he's not just a plug-and-play. If he was like 4,500 like he's been the last few games, he'd be pretty much a lock. But at 5,900, you do have to consider if he's worth this price tag. I think he is with Chris Paul out. Gordon was consistently putting up 30, 35 DK points when Paul was out earlier this year for that remainder of time he was out. So I definitely like Eric Gordon in that mid-tier at shooting guard. I think he makes a ton of sense at 5,900 with no Chris Paul. Big upgrade for Eric Gordon. Definitely like him in that mid-tier. You also got Austin Rivers in this mid-tier I talked about earlier. I think he's a good play at 5,600. And then if we're trying to find some value plays at shooting guard, guys that are 5K and under, I think we can go to ETWAUN Moore, 4,700, going up against the Magic. Great matchup for ETWAUN Moore. Great game to stack. This game has a ton of potential to be high-scoring. 2 teams that play at a pretty fast pace. And obviously one of the reasons we're really going to like ETWAUN Moore is because of the minutes. I've said this before. The guy plays a ton of minutes, 42, 35, 40, 32 minutes his last 4 games. Obviously he's kind of inconsistent, 45, 34, 12, 22 DraftKings points the last 4 games. But the minutes are going to consistently be there. You're getting a guy sub 5K who's going to play close to 40 minutes a night. At this price tag, you want about 25 DK points. In any matchup against Orlando, ETWAUN Moore can definitely get there. So I think he makes sense at 4,700. You also got Hezonja at that same price, who will most likely be starting with Aaron Gordon out. But I think I would prefer ETWAUN more at that same price tag if you are looking for a value play here. You got SHABAZZ NAPIER. He's shooting guard eligible if you want to play him as shooting guard for 4,300. There is one cheap play I want to touch on at shooting guard, 3,700. I think we can go to Torrey Craig going up against Portland. If Gary Harris does not play today, we can definitely consider Torrey Craig at his cheap price tag of 3,700. He has been getting really nice minutes lately. His last 2 games, 30 and 37 minutes, 23, 20 DraftKings points. At 3,700, for him to return value on this price, you only need about 18, 19 DraftKings points. And if he's going to be playing close to 40 minutes, it's very likely Torrey Craig returns value on this price. So if Gary Harris is out again, we could see Torrey Craig back in the starting lineup. So I think that makes him a value play we can go to a shooting guard for cheap. 3,700 if Gary Harris does not play today. But that is what I'm seeing as shooting guard. Those are some options I like at this position. Let's go ahead and look at small forwards. Alright, so at small forward today, you got 2 studs here, over 11K, Giannis and KD. Obviously, if you're paying up here, I think the preferred option is Kevin Durant at 11.6 going up against the Lakers. At least my opinion, I think KD's the better play over Giannis today. This is a great matchup for Kevin Durant. No Steph Curry. We obviously know Draymond Green is questionable. It looks like Draymond might play today, so that is a sort of a downgrade for KD. Just a slight downgrade if Draymond Green is active. But I still think we can go to KD today. I think he's the top small forward. I prefer him over Giannis. It's a great matchup against the Lakers. Giannis has definitely been playing very well as well. Both of these guys are great options, but I prefer KD over Giannis if you're choosing between one of these guys. But like I said at the beginning, I think James Harden's my favorite stud on this slate, so I'm going to prefer him over both of these guys. But if we're looking at small forwards, other small forwards we want to go to, maybe in this mid-tier, I think we can definitely go to KUZMA in this mid-tier at 6,300 going up against the Warriors. Kuzma is definitely on a little hot streak here. He's been shooting the ball very well lately. His last 2 games, 40 and 58 DraftKings points. Has played 40 minutes in both of those games. Kuzma's coming off his best game of the year, where he put up 38 points against the Rockets. So he's got some momentum on his side. It's a good matchup against the Warriors. He did play well against this team when they faced off not too long ago, just about a couple of days ago. Kuzma had 40 DraftKings points when these teams just faced off and played 40 minutes against the Warriors. So I really like Kuzma in this mid-tier at 6,300. The price tag is starting to rise. It rose $500, but I still think Kuzma has the upside to pay this off. So I like him in that mid-tier at 6,300 at small forward. Definitely think he is in play. And in this 5K range, we want to go for some small forwards here. If Gary Harris is out today, I think we can go to Will Barton at 5,900. You can play him as shooting guard if you want to play him over at that position. Barton is coming off a rough game against Minnesota. I wasn't on Will Barton even with Harris out. I just didn't like the matchup. Tough matchup with Jimmy Butler. Barton only put up 24 DraftKings points in 34 minutes. This is a much better spot going up against Portland. So if Gary Harris is out today, I think we can go to Will Barton. Very cheap price tag of 5,900. Obviously with Harris out, Barton's going to see an uptick in usage shots. I think he was moved into the starting lineup as well. Did play a lot of minutes. So we can go to him at 5,900 if Gary Harris does not play today. And then maybe if we're trying to find some value at small forward, I've been on OMRI CASSPI a lot lately, but with Draymond Green expected to come back for this game, probably going to be off of CASSPI, but he has been playing well lately, at least with Draymond out. He's been getting some nice minutes. His last 4 games, 25, 30, 26, and 26 minutes, 27, 39, 34, 22 DraftKings points. With Draymond expected to be back for this game, that's probably going to cut CASSPI's minutes just a little bit. He'll probably play around 23, 24 minutes. It is a really good matchup against the Lakers. CASSPI could return value on that salary, even if he only gets like 22, 23 minutes. So he's a fine play, but Draymond expected to come back for this game, so that's definitely a downgrade for CASSPI. We do have Kelly Oubre here at 4,700 if we want to go to him. Otto Porter is questionable for this game. Obviously, if Otto Porter misses, Kelly Oubre will be moved into the starting lineup and should see an uptick in minutes. Did play 30 minutes in their last game against the Pelicans, and Otto Porter was out for that game. This is a great matchup against the Nets, a fast-paced game. So I like Kelly Oubre as a value option, 4,700. He's shooting guard and small forward eligible. I think he makes a ton of sense if Otto Porter does not play today. And I think that's what I'm seeing at small forward. You got Andre Iguodala at 4,200. You can play him as shooting guard as well. But with Draymond Green coming back, that definitely hurts Iguodala. He has been playing a lot of minutes lately, but the minutes are probably going to go down a bit with Draymond coming back. But he is very cheap at 4,200. Great matchup against the Lakers. Did put up 29 DraftKings points when these teams faced off not too long ago. So I don't mind Iguodala at 4,200, but obviously a little bit of a downgrade for him with Draymond Green expected to come back for this game. But he still makes sense as a value play at 4,200. But that is what I'm seeing at value, or at least for value at small forward. You got Torrey Craig down here as well at 3,700. You want to play him at small forward. I think he makes sense if Gary Harris is out. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and move on to power forward. Alright, so at power forward, you got Boogie, AD up top here, 11-1, 10-5, going up against the Magic. This is definitely a great matchup for these guys. The Magic do really struggle defensively against the center and the power forward. They're not really going to have anybody that matches up well with these two bigs. They are a little bit discounted off of like Harden and KD, but I still think I prefer Harden and KD over Boogie at least. Anthony Davis, you get about a 1K discount if you roll with him. I think that makes sense if you need the savings, but I still think Harden and KD are the two studs I'm trying to pay up for today, so I doubt I'm going to be on Boogie and AD. At least if I just had to choose like one stud to pay up for, I don't think they're going to be the guys that I choose. It's definitely going to be Harden today. But obviously Boogie and Anthony Davis are great tournament plays. The guys have so much upside, so you can pay up for them at power forward, but like I said, still prefer Harden just overall out of all the studs. So looking for other power forwards that we can go to, maybe if you want to target some guys in this mid-tier. You got Kuzma here at 6,300. If you want to play him at power forward, he's eligible at this position. Kelly Olynyk is in a really good spot today, going up against the Mavericks, a very bad team defensively against the center, a very bad rebounding team. Olynyk is coming off one of his best games of the year against Boston, 32 points, 48 DraftKings points in that game. Didn't see much of a price increase after that game, only rose $200. And with James Johnson out, that is going to mean more minutes for Kelly Olynyk. So I think he makes sense at 5,600 in a good matchup against Dallas. Definitely like him if you're going to that mid-tier power forward. You got Julius Randle there as well at 5,400. I don't know if we can play Julius Randle though. In his last game against Houston, I was very high on him that day. Had him in a cash game lineup. He only put up 6 DraftKings points, only played 8 minutes. No one really knows why. With Brook Lopez out, I was imagining Randle getting at least 25, close to 30 minutes, if not more than that. Obviously, that did not happen. Not sure why he played 8 minutes. So I think this might be a situation we want to avoid. He did play very well against the Lakers or against the Warriors not too long ago, a couple of days ago. Did put up 34 DraftKings points in 31 minutes against this team. You can obviously go to Randle in tournaments. Just know it's a really risky play. We're not really sure how many minutes he's going to play. But obviously if Randle gets minutes, the guy's going to crush value. But if we are looking for some value at power forward, we want to go cheap here, 5K and under. I know Mike Scott's been playing out of his mind lately. He's really cheap at 4,600. He hasn't been getting a ton of minutes just in his last 3 games, 24, 33, 23 DraftKings points. But the production's been there, 30, 37, 31 DK points. If Otto Porter is out today, that should lead for a little bit more minutes for Mike Scott. Should lead from him seeing more usage off the bench. And this is a great matchup against Brooklyn. So I think we can go to Mike Scott for a cheap value play at power forward, 4,600. If no Otto Porter, I think he makes a ton of sense if you are looking to go a little bit cheaper at this position. Got the Mason Plumlee revenge game if you want to do that, going up against Portland, his former team. Don't think we need to go there, though, on this slate. Obviously, it's a 9-game slate. Don't really need to go there, but Mason Plumlee revenge game if you want to just take a chance on that. If you think Jokic might not play a ton of minutes or something, if you think Jokic kind of gets in foul trouble. But obviously, that's not something we're going to be too highly invested in today. So I think that's pretty much it for power forward value, at least value plays that I see at this position. Looking to go cheap here. Let's go ahead and look at some centers. Alright, so at center here, if you're not playing Boogie or AD, I don't think you need to go to these guys like Vooch. That's a tough matchup for Vooch against the Pelicans. Andre Drummond against the Knicks. Don't know if I want to go there, 8,600. Definitely like this 7K range at center. Got some good options here. DeAndre Jordan at 7,800 in a fast-paced game against Houston. I think makes a ton of sense today. DJ has just been so consistent lately. His last 4 games, 37, 43, 33, 39 DraftKings points. He's been scoring the ball a lot lately. Been dominating the boards as well. Pretty much getting a double-double like every night. And Clint Capella has missed the last few games for the Rockets. If he is out again, that's a great matchup for DeAndre Jordan. He should totally dominate in this matchup if no Capella. Really like him at 7,800 in that mid-tier if you're looking to go to that range at center. You also got Dwight Howard there, who's in a total smash spot against Milwaukee, a very bad team defensively against the center, not a good team against centers. And we know the kind of upside that Dwight has, similar to DeAndre Jordan. This guy has 20-20 upside, can put up 45, 50 DraftKings points. And he has faced Milwaukee twice this year. The Hornets have faced them twice. And Dwight has averaged 40 DraftKings points through 2 games against the Bucks. So I don't mind him as well at 7,600. Think he is a really good tournament play and a great matchup against the Bucks. Definitely like Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan in that 7K range. And if we are looking for some more mid-tier options at center, I think we can go to Jusuf Nurkic at 6,400 with no Damian Lillard. That should lead to more opportunities to score for Jusuf Nurkic. I think McCollum and Nurkic are going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting for this team. And this is a revenge game for Nurkic. He did play for Denver before he got traded to Portland. So I don't mind him at 6,400. Think he's going to see an uptick in usage and in shots with no Damian Lillard. Should be able to rebound a little bit more. Should have an opportunity for more rebounds as well. Could see a double-double out of Nurkic here. So I think we can go to him in that mid-tier at 6,400. And then if we're trying to find some value at center, we want to go 5K and under. I'm not seeing a lot of value plays here that I'm absolutely in love with. It will be interesting to see what Milwaukee plans to do to guard Dwight Howard. They can put John Henson on him. Obviously, it's not a good matchup for Henson, but he's going to have to play some minutes here. They're going to need him to guard Dwight. And Henson's actually sort of been seeing a lot of minutes lately. His last 4 games, 30, 20, 32, and 28 minutes. Henson has struggled in this matchup against Charlotte through 2 games, averaging only 20 minutes and 16 DraftKings points. But like I said, they're going to need somebody that has size to at least sort of match up with Dwight. They can put Giannis on him, but Henson's definitely going to need to help out here and play some minutes to guard Dwight. So I don't mind him as a cheap value option at 4,400. If you're just looking to straight up go cheap at this position, you don't want to pay up here. We can go to Nene at 3,700 if Clint Capella does not play today. Obviously, somebody is going to have to guard DeAndre Jordan. They're going to need somebody with size. So Nene could be looking at mid-20s, close to 30 minutes. If Clint Capella is out, they're going to need him to guard DeAndre Jordan. So I don't mind him as well as a cheap value play at center at 3,700 if Clint Capella is out today. But yeah, guys, what I'm seeing at center today is what I'm seeing in this position. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GO or leave a comment down in the comment section. We'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. What? Yeah, neck on fro. Whoa, 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 whoa.